Well, Las Vegas is the entertainment capital, so fittingly, the Raiders passed to their first-round pick in the first draft under new head coach Antonio Pierce, and new GM Tom Telesco would be nothing short of entertaining, featuring turns of events for Raider Nation and certainly for the war room in the building behind me.
The Washington Commanders select Jayden Daniels.
Jayden Daniels goes to Washington at 2, so the Raiders don't trade up, staying pat at 13th overall. But the top 6 quarterbacks fly off the board in the top 12.
Michael Penix Jr.
Well, there it is.
Wow.
Michael Penix Jr. going to Atlanta in a stunner, leaving the silver and black without their choosing of Penix, J.J. McCarthy, or even Bo Nix. On the clock, instead of addressing needs at offensive tackle or at cornerback, the Raiders go best available with Georgia tight end Brock Bowers.
The Las Vegas Raiders select Brock Bowers, tight end, Georgia.
Well, that could be the best player in the draft right there. And it ended up going, what number was that? 13.
It's a jaw-dropper after Las Vegas selected tight end Michael Mayer early in the second round of last year's draft. But there's good reason why Bowers was the top player left on the Raiders' big board. At 6'4", 265, the two-time national champion broke onto the scene as a freshman and starred for the Bulldogs for 3 seasons, being one of the most dynamic playmakers in the SEC and blurring the line between tight end and receiver. The first ever back-to-back winner of the John Mackey Award for best tight end in the nation, Bowers heads to Las Vegas to give the Raiders offense a versatile weapon to pair with Devontae Adams in Luke Getsy's first season as offensive coordinator.
We don't really like to put up billboards of who we're going to be, possibly interested in. But I did a lot of work on Brock. Our scouts have seen him for, obviously as freshman you're not eligible, but he jumped out as a freshman right away. He's tough, and when you play at Georgia as a tight end, you have to be able to block. And then in the SEC, he's playing against some real defenders. So, but he's an athletic move receiving tight end, but he can get down and block a little bit on the line of scrimmage. So, which you're gonna have to do at this level too. So, just kind of shows you what his game's like.
Bowers is from Napa, California, and grew up going to the Oakland Raiders training camp, even getting an autograph from Derek Carr. Heading to Las Vegas came as a surprise to him as well, and he's ready to raid the end zone.
Man, just when that call came up, the Las Vegas and bad, I was juiced. But talked to them at the combine. I feel like I can be used in a multitude of ways. At Georgia, I was moved all around. Versatility is a big part of my game, and I'm just excited to see what's in store for this next year.
Telesco adds that the Bowers selection is not an indictment on fellow Raiders tight end Michael Mayer, but instead that the NFL has no rule that says that you can't play more than one tight end at once. From Raiders HQ, I'm Nick Walters. Well, Tricia and Abel, all the buzz around Raider Nation and all we've talked about at Channel 13 is what the Raiders are going to do at 13th overall, filling some positional needs, possibly adding an offensive tackle, possibly a cornerback, or for the first time since 2007, drafting a quarterback in the first round. But because this is the unpredictable NFL draft, they do none of that and instead take Georgia tight end Brock Bowers at 13th overall. And now I came from Arkansas before I moved to Vegas. I covered the SEC, and this guy was an animal in the Southeastern Conference for the Georgia Bulldogs, a 2-time national champion. But listen, the process to get to this point at 13, it was dramatic because we saw quarterbacks fly off the board, 6 quarterbacks going in the first 12 picks before Las Vegas got to go on the clock. So we're all sitting there looking at Talis Fuaga out of Oregon State, or Troy Fautanu, the tackle out of Washington, or the cornerbacks, Terrion Arnold out of Alabama, or Quinyon Mitchell out of Toledo. Some of the guys that many people have mocked to the Raiders, thinking Tom Telesco, Antonio Pierce make their first pick together as a GM head coach combo. Well, it ends up being Brock Bowers. He's a 94.1 grade by PFF, the highest grade ever by PFF for a tight end. He's a 2-time John Mackey Award winner for the top tight end in college football, the only player to ever go back-to-back for that award, a unanimous All-American in 2023, and Bowers has starred for the Bulldogs since he was a freshman at Georgia in 2021. It wasn't really what any Raider fan would have expected out of tonight, but if you ask Tom Telesco, the first-year Raiders general manager, he says they're happy to have Brock Bowers in the building.
looking to add more playmakers to the offense, and they come in all shapes and sizes and all different positions. And, we love Michael Mayer. I love Michael Mayer, and he's a really good player. He's going to take another big jump this year. But he get a chance to add just another dimension to the offense, whether it's a tight end, a hybrid receiver, whatever it is. We need more playmakers on that side of the ball, so I think he's going to really help us there. And, he's a high-level player in college, true junior. He's 21 years old, so he's, very young still developing. But he's got some natural football skills combined with some high-level athletic ability and speed. So, really happy to have him.
An electric, versatile playmaker that Antonio Pierce and Tom Telesco adds to this offense to pair with Devontae Adams and Zamir White in Luke Getsy's first season as offensive coordinator. And guys, what made this pick so surprising is not Brock Bowers. He's a sensational player ranked in the top 10 of many draft big boards by so many experts in the country. But it's what the Raiders did last year in the draft by picking Notre Dame tight end Michael Mayer early on in the second round. But if you ask Telesco, there's no rule in the NFL that says you can't have more than one tight end on the field at any time. So when you watch the Raiders this season, expect to see a lot of Brock Bowers split out wide, playing along Devontae Adams and Jacoby Myers, and hopefully with either Gardner Minshew or Aiden O'Connell at quarterback, helping the Raiders put up more points this season than last. But hey, the NFL draft picks back up tomorrow night with round 2 and round 3. The Raiders hold 2 picks, pick 44 and pick 77, and we'll have more live coverage right here at Raiders headquarters.